The hearing will be here in Jacksonville. It was announced just one day after 10 families agreed to a financial settlement with the company that owns El Faro.
Jim Pickett joining us live downtown after speaking with one family who did not settle and plans to attend the hearings. Jim?
You know, Tari, I'm at the front of the convention center here, and I know this isn't a court of law. It certainly doesn't look like one, but it's here where the Coast Guard is going to conduct their hearings, and they're going to look into the El Faro and decide who might be at fault. Pastor Robert Green says his family is still getting over the loss of his son, LaShawn Rivera, who was one of the 33 who died on October 1st. That's when the El Faro sank. Green was pleased to learn that the Coast Guard is going to hold an in-depth hearing that will be open to the public.
The family's holding up. We're still hopefully optimistic that all will be well. That's going to be starting in a couple of weeks, and some of the other things are going to come out. We'll know more as time goes on.
The Coast Guard will look at factors that contributed to the accident. They'll look for evidence of misconduct, inattention to duty, negligence, or willful violations of the law, and will look to see if any Coast Guard personnel or any other government agency contributed to the casualty. The hearings will run from February 16th through the 26th, and this is only the first round. Future hearings will be held that will go into more detail, whether the weather, the cargo, and other factors contributed to the accident. Despite the hearings, as we showed you yesterday, 10 families have decided to settle now for more than $500,000 each, including the 5 Polish crew members. We talked to the attorney representing those 5 men who say circumstances were different and the families in Poland need to settle now. He represents 2 other victims' families who have not settled.
Different people are in different circumstances. I think that ultimately these people suffered for a long period of time. I think it was known to the crew that their lives were in jeopardy for approximately 7 hours before that ship lost contact. So I think that there was a tremendous amount of pain and suffering.
But other attorneys like Kurt Arnold, who represents 4 families, say he wouldn't have settled for that amount.
That type of settlement is something that I don't think is right, and I certainly wouldn't be recommending to my clients.
You know, in talking to Pastor Green, and he was talking about his family, he says he knows he's going to have to make that determination soon of what would be the right amount to settle with. It's something he doesn't really like to think about. But one thing, too, he says he and other family members have gotten together. They've created a GoFundMe account under Mending Hearts. Mending a Heart is what it's called, and what they want to do is help other families who are grieving and hopefully also continue with the search in order to help more with the investigation. We're live downtown. Jim Pickett, Channel 4. The local station.